What about Atomic
What's
by
Atomic?
Blondie? Atomic. Tonight, make it magnificent.
Oh, was that in?
Tonight,
I think that was in Grand Theft Auto.
make it tonight. Right, I'm going to pick a song. You have to sing it, right?
Okay.
You have to. Teenage Dirtbag by Wheatus. You cannot say you don't know that song.
He's just a teenage dirtbag baby. Isn't it? Listen to
Yeah, but I want the verse. I want you to
baby.
start where all good stories start at the beginning.
I don't fucking remember.
Her name is Noelle.
No. I'm trying to remember. I
You
don't.
had a dream about her. She rings your bell.
She probably
You
does
got
ring my
Jim.
bell.
You know how she rocks.
You know we've been streaming for the last like 3.5 minutes.
Probably.
We have, yeah.
Wow, we must have like a
so
billion viewers.
you
That's
sang
quality
us
content,
in.
as Bo Burnham would say. Quality content.
That was a great show. Inside.
It was a great
Very
show.
good. Highly recommended.
Yeah.
So,
The Welcome to
Shawnee,
the Internet song, classic. Right,
brilliant. But welcome to the internet and welcome to the
have a
Clanstar
look around. Just to look around my
podcast.
room because it's a mess.
I like your room.
I feel like Asmongold here.
Well, you are balding
There's
like
not
him.
any rats running along my floor.
Did he get rats and running on his floor?
I assume so. Have you seen the guy?
I'm telling you, it's all a show. It's all a stage. He doesn't live in an attic.
I don't know.
It's a set.
He's got like 3 teeth. I don't think that's a show.
They call me Chopper.
Yeah, opens cans with a big tooth.
So, we haven't done one of these in a long, long time.
No, we haven't because you went AWOL.
Oh yeah, I did. I went AWOL.
Yeah,
I
for
don't
a
remember
year.
this. However, over the last couple of months, we've been separated playing different games. So we have a lot to touch on.
Unpack, to unwind, to I don't know, talk about.
We do. Well, the last game we played together was, we said it was Super People. Super
Super
People.
people.
Super People. So we can probably touch on
Yeah, I'm
that a
going to
bit.
have to mute every couple of seconds to cough because I'm recovering from COVID. So
He's got the vid.
I got the vid. 2.5 years I managed to avoid it, and then as soon as I went on holiday, here's COVID right in your face. Because I'm convinced that airplanes are the problem. You know how like when it just started and they just like trapped all the boats at the harbours and was like, you aren't getting off?
Like a movie.
Yeah, I feel like it was the planes that they should have been not letting people off. With all that shitty recycled air and shit like that.
Mm.
Boats are coming from the sea, cleanest air in the world. Leave them alone. Ground the planes where it's just everybody's breathing in each other's farts for 8 hours in fucking middle of the sky. And then you wonder
Yeah.
why everyone got COVID. What?
I'm not saying anything.
Right, so what's the format? What we want to talk about? Tell
Dave,
me.
Dave says hello, but it's not the Dave we were just talking about off screen. Hello, Dave. Karasanova.
Hello, not the Dave that we cared enough to talk about, but you're here, so we'll say hello. Is that
hello, Dave. How are you doing? Feel free to boy. No, we were talking about games that we before we did the last show. The
that we
games
were
we
playing
played were
together?
Super
Super
People.
people.
We were playing with the Super People, and
We were.
I think you didn't like it.
No, I didn't like it. I got banned. That's why I stopped playing. I got
Yeah.
banned from Super People.
Yes, you did get banned.
Do you
Now
remember why I got banned?
I'm not entirely sure why you got banned.
Yeah, I wasn't entirely sure until I finally got my ticket back, like a month and a half later. Mind it was the stupid thing where if you jumped and then you press jump again,
To do your
the
little
thing would Yeah, it would record your distance jumped or your air walking,
Yes.
but you could cheat it where if you like jumped just before you teleported onto the plane and then ejected for the plane, it would still count the little airwalk and you'd get like 57 miles airwalk distance or something like that.
So you got
Banned me
banned
for it.
from Super People for accidentally jumping before we jumped into the fucking plane.
It wasn't accidental. I was doing it literally every single time just to get a new record on the airwalk jump. But it was an exploit that they built into the game. That's not my fault. It wasn't hurting anyone. It wasn't like killing people or anything like that. It was just an
Did
exploit in the little.
Now this is where I'll jump in. So we were playing the beta. Yeah, you found
Mhm.
out an exploit. Did you
Mhm.
leave a ticket saying what it was?
No. I've never left a ticket in a beta. The purpose of the beta is to play the game, not to test it for them. They want me to test it, pay me.
So that was your problem with the game, was
They
you
ban me.
got banned.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
It
let's
was a
just
good
say
game. I just got
before you got
banned.
banned, yeah. So for
Before
people
we
that
got banned, I was enjoying it. I was having a lot of fun. I enjoyed playing that game.
I thought it was good. It can get sweaty when you constantly play it, like all battle royale games.
Yeah,
But
the best period to play a battle royale is like the first week it comes out because everyone's shit. You've got no expectations of yourself, so you're not like, oh, I'm going to win this game. You're just like, oh, I'm still learning. It's the grace period. I'm having fun with my mates and stuff like that. And then you're just like, it's once you start getting close to winning, and you're like, right, okay, I'm try hard now. I actually want to win this game. That's when battle royales just become an absolute like bitter angry fest where everybody's fighting with each other. People are shouting at Cool Nitro for sniping 14 miles away from outside the
listen,
circle, and
I hope he's watching this. It's his thing. It's his thing. Like Aoshi's thing is to drop and run to the nearest enemy. Even
yeah,
if he doesn't have weapons. That's Aoshi's thing when we play with him. And Cool
I just
Nitro's
think it's
thing
to
is this. No.
land and send me a message spitting on me, telling me I'm a cunt because I don't know my left from right. That's Irish's thing. I love him for it.
Or your thing is to land in the same house as someone else when you're looting.
No, my thing is to die immediately. Like I everybody walks across the street and they're all fine. They all cross over into the next house across the street. And I come along 5 seconds a little bit later than everyone else, walk across the same street and get shot in the head.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're, and in fairness, I'd want to say in fairness, but the thing you always say is, for fuck's sake, man, that's bullshit. That was
Was it?
that was the phrase you'd say every single game,
Yeah,
and it just led
because
to
it
you
was
just like quitting
because for fuck's
or
sake,
banning
man, it was
yourself.
bullshit. Yeah, I get myself banned. Like of all the people to ban, I'm shit at first person shooters. Why ban me? Like ban somebody who's actually good. I mean,
I'll tell you
nobody
one
in
thing:
Star.
you kept that a fucking secret though.
What?
Why you were banned? You didn't tell
No,
us.
because I didn't. No, because I didn't find out until like a month and a half later when I got my ticket back, and I'd already stopped playing by then.
So, are you unbanned? Did anything?
No, the beta's done, so I don't know if like when the next beta comes out, if I download it, I don't know if I'll still be banned.
Okay. Okay.
Um, we'll find out.
Well,
Hopefully they just clear it all and start again.
fingers crossed, because it's a good game. It's 1 to 4 players. It's a battle royale. Obviously, you drop down, you last team alive, last person alive wins. But the caveat is you have abilities and there's classes. So you pick a class at the start, and you basically can level up different abilities with that class depending on the situation. I thought it was really good. And every class has an ultimate.
Yeah,
Add
what I
something
liked
different.
about it is it done a good job of giving you reasons to play with different weapons because battle royales always have the problem of there is a best gun, there is a best build, but with super people it done a good job of saying your character this game will have plus 50% damage with
Shotguns
a
and blah blah blah. Yeah.
shotgun or whatever, and then that becomes the gun that you use that game just because the advantage is so strong on it. So done a good job of giving you reasons to play with different guns and different builds and stuff like that.
Yeah.
There were some classes that were just straight up better than other ones. Maybe that's what they're working on now. Like the nuke guy was just straight up better than if you could get them and you could just drop a nuke on people and stuff like that. That was just straight up better than because it was done two jobs. It killed people who didn't move and it displaced people out of like houses and stuff like that. So
Yeah, I
it
think
was
that's
just
what they're
so
gonna try
strong.
and do with the the beta. We played the beta in January. It's fucking June. What the
June.
fuck? June. Yeah. So and the new beta is gonna come out in August. So they probably have balanced a lot of the abilities. I would say spells, all the abilities, and I think one of the most used characters was the one that moved quickly. I don't know what the name of the character was, but basically there was this character where like runs faster with no weapon.
Is
His
he
ability is like super speed and all this shit. So basically,
was
all you
he a
have to
mouse and he wore a little Mexican hat and he said underlay, underlay, arriba, arriba?
I think you're
Is that
playing Overwatch. Oh Jesus, we could segue into bleeding Overwatch now, couldn't we?
could we? I've never played Overwatch.
What?
Well, I
You,
played Overwatch when it just came out for like a week. Went, this is the fucking shittest game I've ever played in my life, and never played it since.
you never played Overwatch?
No, that's just it. I played it the week it came out,
Yeah.
bought it, played it for like a week, realised this is the shittest game I've ever played in my life, and never haven't turned it back on since.
I didn't know that. You don't like Overwatch at all?
No, I found the objectives boring. I was doing the same fucking objectives in TF2 10 years earlier. I found the
Great game,
art.
TF2.
I found the art style bland. I found the powers either completely boring and useless or completely overpowered. Like, I understand what they were trying to do. They were trying to create a first-person shooter where you don't need to be good at first-person shooters to be good at it, because there was so many classes that shooting wasn't their primary concern. But I found myself just walking down the street with that big guy with a shield,
Reinhardt.
Reinhardt, and just walking whilst everyone hid behind my shield. Just, is this fun? Is it supposed to be fun? Or
I thought it was.
no?
I'm in the other boat. Like I liked Overwatch. I really did. I just did not like.
Plus, it had loot boxes and fuck loot boxes.
Yeah, I'm not. I don't really consider loot boxes. I don't like that particular mechanic in games. But I thought Overwatch was a good game. I just thought it got really salty really fast. Pretty
Because it
much.
was shit.
No, I enjoyed
What?
it.
No, same reason League of Legends is shit. Like, if you cannot create a game that fosters positive human behaviors, then fuck off. Like, like seriously, like if the purpose of your game is to cause people, or if your game causes people to be so toxic and angry with each other, then you failed at a multiplayer game. You
Hey
just have.
Nimrod. Speaking of all Clanstar members, there's Nimrod there.
Hi Nimrod. Let's see when you are last on Steam and judge you for it.
He's probably on
Um,
yesterday. Doesn't he play World of War Tanks or some shit?
oh, that doesn't count.
Ah, no.
I'm going to do a new thing where I'm going to look at anyone who comes on Steam, see what they were playing recently, and judge them for it. Does that sound fun?
But anyway,
Uh,
picking up on Overwatch and you obviously hating it, the new Overwatch 2 is coming out. I want to say this year, but the beta will be dropping
excuse
soon.
me. Excuse me. Overwatch 1.2.
It's free. They made it
No,
free.
it's not. No, it's
It
not.
is.
You,
It's
you
free.
need to pay for the campaign.
That's the caveat that I think what will happen is you'll get the first campaign for free. It'll be like 4 levels, and then you have to pay for campaigns going forward. Nimrod is trying to get us to play Tarkov.
I've played Tarkov. See, that's the kind of shooting game that I'd play because you fire your gun maybe once every 4 games, and which means that you don't need to aim. Like that's what I loved about what was it called? The shitty optimized battle royale.
PUBG.
PUBG. That's what I loved about PUBG is you see somebody once every 5 games. Every other time you just get shot in the head from somewhere you didn't know what happened.
I love PUBG. I miss it.
I,
They fucking shit the bed with that game. It really really upsets me, that game. What
I
happened
like
to it?
slow. I like slow methodical shooters. I can't be doing with games like Call of Duty where you respawn every 5 seconds and get shot again.
You
Just
just said
triggers
I'm
me.
gonna play Apex to me before we went on this stream.
That's not getting again. You don't.
Don't be lying to
You
me.
die. You die once every hour. Maybe you kill somebody once every hour as well, but you die once every hour because the
In
games last so
Apex?
long. Yeah.
You know what Apex is, eh?
Apex was the 3-player battle royale.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's nearly quicker than Call of Duty, for fuck's sake.
No, it's not.
Yes, it
Fuck
is.
off. Fuck off. Is it quicker than Call of
It
Duty?
bleeding is.
Nothing's quicker than Call of Duty where you respawn in a tiny little square and just get shot over and over and over again by respawn campers. But
Listen, I'm gonna disagree with you on this game, Apex. I'm sorry, but it's very fast paced in my opinion. There's lots of little things to do and lots of different bit of gear and upgrades and all
movement
that. The movement is
movement
class.
is quick. Movement is quick in Apex, but the gameplay isn't fast paced. You can literally go 40 minutes in Apex without seeing another player. Like, it's not fast paced gameplay. Call of Duty is mental fast paced gameplay. I'm not talking about the Battle Royale Call of Duty, I'm talking about multiplayer Call of Duty, where you spawn on a boat and there's like 40 people on this
Oh,
tiny
you're talking
little
about
boat.
deathmatch? No, I'm
And it
talking
just,
about battle royale.
they're even Battle Royale sucked as well because it's like you guys didn't want to play the proper version of the Battle Royale. You guys want to play that stupid money one where you
Well,
just
we played the
respawned like it was
original.
a multiplayer
How
one.
how the foul? How the foul? We played the original battle royale in Call of Duty, right? And everyone just kept getting salty. Then Icy ended up playing the money one, so we all ended up starting playing the money one and having good fun playing it. It was just a distraction from the original. Apex is Fortnite without the stair building championships.
Which I'm alright with because fuck is their building
That's
championships.
what Nimrod says. Which
I agree. That's probably pretty true. It is very similar. Obviously, one is third person and one's first person, but other than that, they are pretty similar just without all the building shit. But I will never play Fortnite because I can't imagine a world where I would enjoy a game where I'm about to kill someone and they build a bunch of fucking stairs and walls around themselves and I
But
can't
that's
get
the
to them.
thing, the new thing. So, just for people who haven't watched, myself and a couple of my friends, we started playing Fortnite about 2.5 months ago. And the only reason was, we never played it before. The only reason
You
was,
wanted to meet
our
children.
friend. Fuck's sake. And demonetized. And your screen is getting all glitchy. You're frozen.
Is it flickering again?
It is.
I'm
Not
frozen.
only is it flickering, it's like you have gels. I'll try
Yeah.
I'll try and pretend to be.
I'm showing is moving on my screen. Let me turn it off
There
and on
you
again.
go. There you go. It's fixed. But it looked like you were having a stroke. But yeah, we started playing it only because they took the building out. We didn't play it when there was building. We had no interest. But now the building got taken out, we actually had a good bit of fun. And I know it was a bit of a snooze fest gaming wise, but we enjoyed it quite a lot. We played it nearly straight for a month.
People still run about dressed as fucking Batman and
Yeah.
Star
Yes.
Wars and cats and
Fucking
fucking
gingerbread man and.
Doctor Disrespect.
But like, that's the only thing I wanted was to be dressed up as like a tactical soldier, and Chris Redfield from Resident Evil.
You're
That's.
literally the most boring human being I have ever met.
I'm gonna kill you.
I want to be dressed as a soldier.
Listen, you just start giving out about people dressed as fucking Batman and stuff. I'm playing a
Yeah,
shooting game. I want to be
and
in a
I wouldn't
tactical.
play it as a result, but if I was going to play it, I would go all in and be like a fucking cat girl waifu that's dressed all in pink, because why the fuck not?
You and Icy are so alike. That's exactly what Icy did. He's dressed as some like succubus, female succubus or something.
Yeah,
Some
why not?
anime like cell shaded anime succubus. But we've been playing Fortnite. Some of us still play it a bit now. It's a good little distraction from other games when you're just bored. But we're still waiting for Super People to be released
Yeah,
properly.
there's just better games to play, ain't there? As
Yeah.
simple as that. Like if I've done with work at the end of the night, I don't want to sit and play fucking Fortnite with a bunch of 11-year-olds. I just don't.
So
I'd
let's
rather
jump onto games that you have been playing. So one you didn't touch on, but I think you said in a message to me was the Quarry.
the Quarry. Oh yeah, I did play the Quarry.
I
Played it on
haven't
PlayStation.
I haven't a clue what any of it is. I don't even know what the Quarry is.
It is the follow up. So spiritual follow up. I don't think it's a direct sequel set in the same universe of Until Dawn. Did you play Until Dawn?
No.
The guys who made like Man of Medan and all that sort of shit. The kind of horror survival, the horror games, but they're like very story driven and decisions matter and stuff like that. It's basically just the concept is, if you've not played Until Dawn or this, you're a bunch of it's basically a teenage slasher film
Okay.
that you are controlling. Set up is always kind of similar. Like, oh, this one is the Quarry, where there's like six teenage like camp leaders in this little camp in the middle of nowhere, and the called Haggett's Quarry or whatever. And it's got a little lake and all that. And in the last day, all the kids leave, and you try to leave as well, but the car breaks down before you leave, so you're stuck in this big like holiday camp for a week, yeah, for the night by yourselves, and then all these horror things start happening basically. And your the objective is just to like try and have as many of them survive as possible. It's good fun. Why are you chuckling away to yourself like a creepy creeperson?
We have a couple of sneaky. I'm forgetting the term now. It's been so long since we streamed. People who look in the background.
What are they looking at?
They're creepers. There you go. They're looking at you and your face. So, would you recommend the Quarry then? Because
It's brilliant. It's bloody brilliant. Like, you know what the Quarry's good for? See if you've got like a missus or something who, or a mister who doesn't play games
we don't
particularly,
discriminate.
to sit and watch you like play games and help and make decisions with you. It's a good like couch game
Oh,
to play
getcha,
with,
getcha,
like
getcha.
your other
Couch
half,
co-op.
because they can make the decisions and then you can do all the gameplay stuff and you can be like, oh, what do you want this person to do here and stuff like that. And it's kind of like just watching an interactive horror film. Um,
Getcha.
yeah, it's enjoyable. It's a good laugh.
And that just recently released, yeah? Is that the
It did,
newest one?
yeah. Yeah, it's the newest one. Played it on PS5. It's a lot of fun. Like, I'll once I finish it, I'll probably never play it again. I'm not going to go completionist and try and save everyone and look at the spreadsheet on how to make all the correct decisions so that everybody survives all that. It's just
You're just gonna
how I
play your
played
own
it.
story and then leave it as it is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. How I played it is how it happened, and then I'll just move on with my life.
Mm.
But yeah, good fun. Recommend it. What about you? Have you
Recommend.
played anything?
Um. So at the moment, myself and some of the lads are playing a little game called V Rising.
Yes, I have V Rising as well. Played a little bit of it.
Now, V Rising is top-down RPG MMO survival MMO. Well, survival horror game where you build up you're playing you're a vampire and the whole world has been taken over by the humans that they've basically killed off all the vampires and you awake and you have to take back the world. So you start from scratch and you have to build your own castle and all that, make your slaves and make your warriors. But
Do you
it's
punch trees?
you punch trees, you smack rocks. Nimrod says V Rising looks hella fun. Listen, it's good with friends. When you're on your own, I'm not gonna lie, it's very boring as fuck because it kind of takes a little bit from Diablo and a little bit from Valheim. I know it's not exactly the same. So what it does really well, I think it does the combat and there's bosses. There's about like 40 bosses in the game. So every time you kill a boss, the boss gives you a spell or a recipe for building something different or a recipe for making some items and all that type of stuff. So yeah, you want to kill the bosses. You can't really go. You can go through the game if you want, but you kind of want to kill the bosses to progress more. So I like that every time you kill a boss, you're waiting for that spell, that new spell that might be good for taking out certain enemies or whatever the fuck it is. But the thing I think makes it different than most other games of its kind of similarly like is the building. So you have to build a castle and like there's a sun mechanic in the game, which everyone I know is probably gonna be like, oh, for fuck's sake. So like the sun will kill you. So the sun is out for like a third of the game. Like the third, like it has like a day night cycle.
So a third of the game you can't do anything. You just have to
So
sit there and wait for night
technically
time again.
a third of the game you're just running from bush to bush, but you could be
Oh,
fighting
right,
something out
yeah.
in the middle of nowhere.
Just
Yeah.
a normal Saturday night for you, innit?
You know me so well. But I would recommend if you do play V Rising, you play it with friends. It's just
Yeah,
it's far better with friends. When you're
I
on
have
your
seen it.
own,
Yeah, I did download it. Not played it. I'm very torn on it because you know me, I don't want. There's two types of games I don't want to play. I don't want to have to play a game where I have to punch trees and pick up sticks, like and punch rocks and shit like that. It bores me to tears. Just sitting punching trees and then turning that wood logs of the tree into planks of wood and then turning them into matchsticks so that you can build this thing and then you can build a lantern and then you can mix the tree with the rocks to build a wall and then you put a roof. I just can't be bothered. I find it just tedious. So it has that against it. It also has the whole kind of hunger in that mechanics as well, from what I can
yeah,
tell.
yeah,
Um,
you're a vampire and you need blood. So
yeah.
what you have a health bar and a blood bar. So obviously your health goes down from taking damage, but if you run out of blood, you'll slowly run out of health. So you feed off all the animals, all this. You can actually feed off each other, so you can suck each other off. So when we first started off, like we don't. This is gonna
It
sound
was just
stupid.
you and Irish sitting in a castle sucking each other off.
So basically, at the start of the game, we were like properly like, "Come on, Lion, I need to suck you off because it's blah, blah, blah." Like we were all like trying to like we didn't know. Well, not that we didn't know, but we we thought that mechanic was essential. We thought we had to do that, like, but we didn't. You just had to run out and grab a deer and just suck him off or something. You know what I mean? But and then basically later on you can get prisoners and suck off your own prisoners if you want. But so that mechanic is really good. I think the blood thing, not from the sucking off point of view, but
But
each
it's just
enemy
another bar to manage though, innit? It's just another busy work that you need to do every 15
sort of.
minutes in the game.
So the thing they did to change it was every single thing in the game either has a different kind of class, like rogue, warrior, scholar, worker, all of this type of stuff. So you walk into a camp and you'll see like five people with swords, but they could be all be different classes, and each one can have a different percentage. So the higher the percent, the more pure the blood is. So if I suck off a guy who's 80% warrior compared to everyone else who's like 20% warrior, when I suck him off, I have an extra bit of buffs. Sucking off buffs. Do you know what I mean? I sucked him off and I got really buff. Coley or Mew.
Yeah, so that is one thing I did find quite interesting was blood purity mechanic is what I think what you're trying to describe, where everyone's blood has a different purity level.
Mm.
And if you kill and feed off of someone with a high blood purity level, then you are more lean towards that enemy's class.
Yeah.
So if they are a warrior, you have like a level 4 warrior for the duration that you have that blood.
Yep.
But what again frustrates me about it is you have to eat again. So as soon as you eat again, you're going to change class again.
Yep.
You're going to lose that level 4 character, which level 4 warrior, and go to a level 1 fucking, don't know, pleb. And
Pleb. Yep.
then that means
Hey,
that
Yuji.
you've just like went backwards again, so everything's temporary, which
Mm.
for me, my kind of gameplay, like, it's a tough hurdle to go over. But that being said, I did download it because there is some things that interest me. The castle building looked quite fun. Being able to build your own castle, that looked quite fun.
Like it's listen, for the price, it's worth it. Like for me, so if I'm giving a review right now, I would say if it's kind of like the
How much
style of
is it?
game, €20. So it's probably like 16 haggis or something. Remember the fuck you used
Yeah, it's 3 haggis and 2
in
Scotch
the We
eggs.
Were Here Too category. Oh yeah, I'm in the We Were Here Too category. My apologies, because the last game we actually played together was We Were Here. Remember, Coldy?
Oh yeah. Are we playing the new one?
We're playing. It's not even the new one we're playing. We're playing the third one. The new one is the fourth one.
Right. Okay.
So we still have to um go through it all. All
Yeah,
go
let's
through
do
the
that.
second one. But yeah, we have that planned to.
So it is £15.49 sterling. So that's quite a decent deal, I suppose. Although you can buy a DLC bundle, even though the game's in early access, for 27.88. Not sure I 100% agree with that um, pricing model of having a DLC bundle for a game that's not even out yet. But whatever.
Which one is this?
V Rising, it has the base game and it has a DLC bundle
Yeah,
that you can buy.
don't get the DLC. Yuji said that he finished up the new one. It was really solid. Finished up with a board a couple of weeks ago. They're great games. The We Were Here games.
Unless you
Like
have no friends.
unless you have no
Then
friends.
they're not
Or it
great
can end
games.
relationships depending on who you're playing with, to be honest. But
Yeah.
no, it's a great. We'll definitely be playing that because
If you've not seen it, you should go back and watch me and Cron play through the last viewer here because it's hilarious. Trying to explain things to Cron is like the most challenging. Like I'm a project manager and I tell people what to do every day. Telling Cron how to do something in a computer game is literally the hardest thing I've ever had to do in my life. Like, it's horrible.
it probably is. Maybe
Yeah.
I'd love to be able to do it. So when we did it last time, I think we only saw my screen, my gaming screen. But I'd love to be able to switch between the two. To
Yeah,
have
do that, like, what you call it, the party streaming thing where both of them are on the screen at the same time. Do that.
yeah, we could work that out somehow. That'd be good. But yeah,
Uh,
V Rising. That's what we were talking about.
I do want to try it. I do want to play it. I've downloaded it, I bought it. I've not been on to play
Nami's
it.
playing it. The only thing is Irish bought a server. We're playing on that, so we bought it for a
Yeah.
month, only a month. So it's gonna go in about 2 weeks.
Okay. If I want to play it, I'll just get the server details and I'll just add another month to it. That's fine. Um, I
Uh,
also played another vampire game.
yes.
Um, called Vampire Survivors, which is literally, you want to talk about V Rising being good value for money at 20 quid. Vampire Survivors is currently, let me tell you the price of Vampire Survivors.
I'm looking at it right now, not the price, but the game itself. Everyone
Yeah.
else at home is looking at this game. This is
This game is
the
£2. £2 this game is, right? And
for
it is,
this fucking graphics, it would want to be £2.
mate, ignore the graphics. This game is pure adrenaline in a game. It is just like it triggers all the happy sensors in the brain. It's so good. Basically, the concept is, think of it, it's a roguelite, right? But
Mm-hmm.
instead of you being super weak the whole game, you are basically the tag is become the bullet hell, which is what you are. You're just like, it's just this game of mass synergies and opening treasure chests and leveling up. Like, it basically takes place over 30 minutes. So every single game, unless you die, is 30 minutes long. When you reach 30 minutes, Dracula comes, eats you, game over. Like, so that is, the game will never last longer than 30 minutes. And in those 30 minutes, you maybe level up 120 times, as well as finding treasure chests off of every boss you kill. And it just makes you more and more powerful. And the game is just all about synergies. Like, it's just so much fun. You don't shoot, you don't aim, you just walk about, and it's an auto attacker. So the character is doing all the attacking themselves. Like, if you've got the whip, it will always attack facing
So
forward.
Nimrod said in chat that tons of these type of games is released trying to ride off the hype. Is there
The
stuff
hype
like
of
this?
the
I don't
hype
know.
of what?
I don't know what the hype is, or maybe he's just drunk.
Yeah, you need to tell me the hype of what, because this is the first one that I've played that's ever been like this. Um, I know that a few games have come out since this came out that have kind of just mirrored it, like 20 minutes till dawn is one of them. A bunch of other ones that just kind of like copy it, but literally it's just a game where you walk about picking up treasure chests, and it has this amazing mechanic where it goes do 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 when it's like a super treasure chest that has 5 items in it, and it is just pure adrenaline. It's so much fun. For £2, I've not had as much fun for £2 since I went and visited your mum. So,
The
yeah.
rogue class builder thing, Rouge class builder thing. That's what he says.
This isn't really a class builder, or it's not even really a roguelite either, because it doesn't really have roguelite elements where it's like, do it again, now it's a bit harder, now you can go a bit further. It doesn't have all that. It's literally just a 30-minute one with a bunch of different maps and a bunch of hidden synergies that you can find with all the stuff that you can pick up.
Hmm.
Like, it's I recommend, if you like, just like, it's a cool nitro game. If anyone
It's a
if
cool
anyone knows
nitro
what that
game.
means, if
I
anyone
hope
knows what that
Graham
means,
watches this. It's a cool nitro game. Okay.
yeah. If anyone knows what that means, it's very much a cool nitro game.
It's a cool
I
nitro
do.
game.
I recommend it.
He's gonna
A
love
lot of
that.
fun.
Bet you if Graham watches this, he'll have a little smile on his face,
Yeah,
and
and
then
it's
he'll
only
go,
£2.
"Watch your man. It's only £2."
Yeah.
Bone Riser minions and Nomad survivors and more. Those are some games I think Nimrod is alluding to. He's probably
Nomad
saying,
Survivor.
look at this. So on our screen, we were watching a guy or a woman run away from like skeletons with spears or something,
Yeah.
and now she leveled up. Now she's throwing axes around the place or something. I don't know what's going on.
So Nomad Survival came out in the 28th of April.
Mhm.
Vampire
1941.
Vampire Survivors came out on the 17th of December last year. So these are all games that are just copying Vampire Survivor, which is fair enough. It's a I would say it's an enjoyable mechanic to copy. If you're going to copy something that's good. So I'm
Makes sense.
not against it.
Makes sense. Makes sense. Makes sense.
Yeah, a lot of fun.
So, I'm going to talk about a game that I played recently. So this is a
Okay.
game that I don't know how to describe it. So the game
Is
I
that a
played
porn game on Steam?
technically be called one if you think about it in a weird way. I played Disco Elysium. You,
What a game. What a game. Tell
so
me about it.
I know I remember now that you played it. You finished it. So for people who didn't play or know what the fuck Disco Elysium. So Disco Elysium is like a click. How the fuck do you describe this game? It's like a
I would call it
click adventure.
a point and click noir detective game.
Yeah, like it's a point and click adventure game where you basically are a guy. I don't want to spoil things because the thing about I wouldn't want to spoil it a lot on people because I think it really
I
is
would say
good.
you can talk about the premise of who you are and why you're where you are,
Okay,
like
so
which is in the first 5 minutes.
it's a point and click adventure as you can see on the screen right now, and I would recommend this game anyway. Only the final cut version with the voices, the voice acting, because the voice acting in this game is very, very good, and it's very memorable. So basically, the game is you are a man who wakes up basically naked with a giant hangover in an apartment that's been trashed, and then you take it from there. But you basically very soon after you find out you're a detective and a murder happened and you were there to solve the murder, and instead of solving the murder you got fucking wasted and then you forget everything. So that's that's where I'm going to kind of leave the me trying to not explain most of the story. So anyway,
I'll go into a little bit more detail on it.
please
I
do because
think
I'm
it's
very bad at that.
I think it's fair. So yeah, you're a detective. You wake up. You don't know where you are. You don't know how you got there. You're completely naked, and the interesting mechanic about the game that I think really sets it apart from any other, because I play a lot of like point and click adventure and detective games and stuff like that. But what makes this game so good is the story is taking place in your character's mind. There is all these different, like, because you don't remember anything,
Mm.
you don't know what kind of person you're. You don't know if you're liked. You don't know if you're funny. You don't know if you're smart. You don't know if you're a dick. You don't know anything about yourself. So you, as the player, can choose all these inner monologue options that kind of over time build up who you are and how you're perceived to the world. But there's people who do know what you're like. So if you go a certain route and you become like the super nice, really efficient detective guy in the game, people will run into you and go, "What the fuck happened to you? You've completely changed personality." Um, and all these different versions of yourself will be sitting arguing with each other in your head, and you have to select which one you want to be. And like, it's just the way that your inner monologue argues with itself and fights with each other, and like all vying for to be the primary personality in this basically shell of a guy who doesn't remember anything about himself, all whilst a really interesting murder mystery is going on in the background as well. I think it's literally one of the best. Like, I'm really into noir detective stories, and it is literally one of the best I've ever seen.
So
Portrayed in
Nimrod said
great,
it's basically Kron's regular Monday.
yeah, pretty much. Like,
Poor Nimrod. I don't drink. I'm sorry. I just shit all
he,
over that one.
yeah, he doesn't drink. He just takes coke, smokes crack, like injects heroin, and breathes his own farts.
My clean farting thing, yeah. I know. I absolutely like. I agree.
Have you
Obviously, I
ever
agree. That's exactly what
exercised
it
your
is.
arms in your life?
No. What? Yeah. What? I'm clean.
You get no
My veins.
muscle density there whatsoever.
I know. I've deflated. I used to be like, I used to be proper, but now
Icy.
juiced. Are you sure you're Irish? I am very sure. But Disco Elysium, it's really good with you're fighting your inner monologues and you kind of level yourself, kind of like the talent tree is the different parts of your mind. You kind of level in towards that and everything. But it's a great game. I recommend it for people who like that style of gameplay, that style like story based driven. The For me, the only thing that I really struggle with is its place, if that makes sense. So There's no spoilers. You're in base. It's all made up. The whole like where you are, your locations, the world, everything. It's like places are called like Revachol and all this. And I I find it hard to connect with all the different places. Like I don't know if it's a spoiler, but there's a particular person you walk into, and he's a big, huge guy, and all he does is harp on about fucking like you are from here. They are the slowest people in the world. Like if I'm trying to find it hard to describe it, but I couldn't really grasp where I was most of the time. It's not that I'm drunk or I'm playing drunk all the time. It's just the world that it's set in. I think I'd love the game. I like the gameplay. I like the story, voice acting. I would love that, and then that all rolled into a nice world I can get behind, like that I'm familiar with. I wasn't really familiar with the world. It just seemed a bit too Eastern European. I have no real connection to it.
Yeah, that's fair. The way you're describing it reminds me of watching like the first season of Game of Thrones, where they're referencing all these places and stuff like that you've got
Mm.
no idea what they are, and it just feels a little bit disconnected.
That was me
Um,
with The Witcher when I watched The Witcher because
yeah,
I never played any of the games. Well, I played the third one, but tried to get into it. But I couldn't. They were saying all these Niflheim and all these places, and I didn't know what the fuck it meant. So I didn't have really the scope of the world. And even though I'm still in the middle of playing Disco Elysium, I know they're trying to carve out where all the different world Revachol and fucking I can't even remember. It's been a while since I played the game, but they're trying to set the ground foundation to of the world, and I don't I'm not really invested in it. Whereas this game, this style of gameplay, everything about it would fucking I think it would absolutely flourish if it was cyberpunk in like a futuristic planet Earth. Like if it was fucking like the whole world apocalyptic, blah blah blah, but like Japan, Tokyo.
so what you're describing there is Altered Carbon. Have you read or watched Altered Carbon?
I have watched Altered Carbon.
Yeah,
Basically, Altered Carbon, yeah.
yeah.
I thought it was a good show. I didn't watch the. Is the third season? I don't think I watched that.
I read books, so I've not watched the show.
But I think
But
just for me, I think that game would flourish in that type of yoke. That's the only thing, the only critique I can give out about the game. Other than that, it's like
that's fair.
8 out of 10. Like I'm really enjoying it. I just stopped because we started playing loads of different multiplayer games. To be honest.
Yeah, that's fair. Have I got anything else, or do you want to move on?
You can talk about whatever you want. You were talking about I think it was Diablo.
Oh yeah, let's move on to stuff we haven't played but we want to talk about. So there's points I wanted to cover off: Diablo Immortal and the overall what that means for gaming and the industry in general. Another thing I did want to talk about on a more positive note was just kind of like the whole E3 and anything that you've seen in that in all of the game shows that you're looking forward to. Have you seen anything in there? Um, what you liked, what you didn't. We'll start with Diablo Immortal. So,
Hmm.
what do you know about Diablo Immortal?
So I wasn't a Diablo player at all. I didn't play 1 or 2. I jumped on the bandwagon at 3 just because I was a big Blizzard. I wouldn't say a big Blizzard guy, but I play World of Warcraft and I bought all their games like. So I thought Diablo would be good, and I'm not gonna lie, I played Diablo 3 for about 5 days, and I did the end boss, and I just quit and haven't
Okay.
played it since. So it
So,
didn't really have a grip on me, and this was before all the madness with the money, the shop, and all of this stuff. So that's my background come when it comes to Diablo.
so for me, Diablo 2 was one of the first PC games I ever played. Um, and it blew my mind the fact that I could sit with my friends and we could sit in the same world and share loot and all that sort of stuff. Like Diablo's like one of the kind of like along with like Final Fantasy VII stuff like that is one of the kind of defining games of me becoming a gamer, for want of a better term.
Mm.
So Diablo as an IP is quite important to me. When Diablo 3 came out, played the shit out of it, hated it. Whilst the real money shop was there because they completely stifled the loot and stuff like that to try and force people to use the real money auction house.
Mm.
As soon as they took the real money auction house out, it became one of the best games I'd ever played. Seasonal updates were fun. Reaper of Souls was fun. All of the builds and classes and stuff like that. Absolutely polished, brilliant, 10 out of 10 game by the time Reapers of Souls rolled round for Diablo 3. Um, I've not played Diablo Immortal. I will never play Diablo Immortal. From what I've seen of it, it is just a complete bastardization of everything that's wrong in the gaming industry. Like, if you
But
were,
don't you have phones?
yeah, so if you could, the way from what I understand it, again, this is just through reading articles and watching videos and basically third party information because I've not played it myself. I refuse to download it. But if you pick a manipulative, um, predatory system that a game has, anyone, you can pick loot boxes from Overwatch, you can pick um, pay to win mechanics, buying stronger gear from mobile games, you can um, pick pay to not wait. So like you'll do this thing for, or you're now on rest for 4 hours before you can do another thing, or you can buy some gems to be able to do it right now. If you take, or you could take like the manipulative idea of this thing costs 1,000 gems, but you can only buy either 900 gems or 2,100 gems. So you're always going to be just short or just over. So you've always got gems left. All these kind of
Mm.
mechanics to kind of force people to feel like they're not spending money, but they are. Take all of them, every single one of them are in Diablo Immortal. Every one of them. And it is just horrible.
And the
Do you
thing,
know?
go on.
Do you know how much it costs to be max level in Diablo Immortal right now?
I know this answer, but you go on.
Well, what's the answer?
Isn't it $110,000?
$137,000. $137,000 if you want to be a max level character in Diablo Immortal. That is madness. How that is legal, I
Nim
do not know.
Nimrod's saying that the story is quite fun, but the never-ending grind after the first playthrough is meh. And he also says that you love EA.
Do I love you? Um, no, I hate EA. No, sorry.
No.
Let me be clear. I don't hate EA. That's not fair. I hate EA Sports.
Didn't they lose FIFA?
um, they did lose FIFA, so next FIFA is going to be the last FIFA.
That's gonna be
Um,
class.
yeah, I'm looking forward to that because FIFA have come out and said that they're not going to sell exclusivity rights after this. So basically, it's going to be more like Star Wars, where they'll like license it out to a bunch of different studios and stuff, and like anyway. So we should start to see an era from the '90s where you have lots of different football games. You have
More
like
technical, like old school PES.
yeah, old school PES. There was other games like Actua Soccer and Three Lions and stuff like that. There was lots of football games on the market because EA didn't buy up all the exclusive rights to everything. Um, so now that we're entering into that free market again, it should be quite good to see what people come up with as far as football games are concerned. But yeah, add EA with our ultimate teams and stuff like that. They're obviously completely predatory. They should be illegal,
Yeah.
or at the very least, they should be regulated by the government so that they can't exploit people under the age of 16 or people with addictive personalities and stuff like that. My issue isn't with the the mechanics being in games because you can just avoid the games if you don't like the mechanics. My issue is with the exploitative nature of it and the fact that it's not regulated and that they can get away with doing like a game like they can get away with a game like Diablo Immortal existing, which is just the
Hasn't that
absolute.
made them like 24 million or something already?
Yeah, it has, but they will have wanted way more. They will 24 million in the grand scheme of thing is less than a week of wall subs. So I don't suspect that Activision Blizzard is looking at Diablo Immortal making 24 million as a win right now. I think they'll be looking at the how much they wanted to make or they expected to make, because this is their grace period. This is where they'll be making the most money. It'll have the most players. It'll have the most people involved in it. So I think they will have expected more. And I think that the negative PR they've got off the back of it, whilst they will have expected some of it, I think the backlash has been very strong. So I can't imagine they're thinking of Diablo Immortal as a massive win right now. Um,
Do you feel that contributed to what they're doing with Overwatch?
no, I think that the problem that Blizzard have is if they want to make a microtransaction, pay to win, heavy bullshit mobile gacha game, they cannot attach one of their existing IPs to it. Making it Diablo was the mistake. Now they've done it because it's brand recognition and it will get them the win, but it is doing so much damage to their brand. If they had just released a random game with all these systems, it would be like any other mobile game. No one would give a fuck. It would just sit there making them some money forever and nobody would care. It's the fact that they've attached the Diablo brand to it, and now this is part of the Diablo universe that this exists. That's what
Hmm.
people are upset about, because there is people like me who their gaming life was defined by Blizzard IPs. Diablo was the first online multiplayer game on PC that I played with my friends. Um, WoW was my first MMO. Like these are brands that are really important to people, and they've just completely ripped the arse out of it. So
They've milked the
um,
fuck out of it, the dead cow, like.
yeah, and I think that it doesn't bode well for when Microsoft buy over them, because one or two things will happen when Microsoft take over. I don't know what that little robot man is.
It's Warhammer.
I don't do the Warhammers and the
I
and
know.
the 400Ks and stuff like that. I don't do that. Um, yeah. So
You're not a
one or
nerd,
two,
Coldy?
yeah, one or two things will happen when um Microsoft buy over Blizzard. They either say, with all the legal stuff that you're going through, with all the fucking sexual assaults and having people kill themselves and all that sort of shit,
Yeah. It's
along with
crazy.
all of along with all of the um gameplay fuck ups and the poor quality products, the Warcraft 3 remastered, this Diablo game
How did
over.
they shit the bed with Warcraft 3? It was honestly beyond me.
Yeah,
How did
Overwatch
you shit the
2.
bed?
Like, there's just so many L's, Shadowlands, there's just so many L's for Blizzard. Microsoft would be well within their rights to come in and say, we are shutting Blizzard down and giving your IPs to other areas of Microsoft and letting them work on something. They'd be well within their right to do that.
Do you think that that's what's going to happen though?
I think that it's either going to be that or Blizzard become a small fish in a big pond again. The problem with Blizzard have right now is they are what make Activision money. They just are. With wall subs, with Hearthstone, with this Diablo game, with Overwatch, they are what makes Activision money, and Activision are milking the shit out of it. When Microsoft come in, Microsoft won't be so heavily reliant on Blizzard as Activision are, which means they get the opportunity to become a small fish in a big pond again. which means that maybe they can just keep their head down and actually just make quality products again.
But
Now,
would you say that it's probably not going to be magical because a lot of the people who made WoW, you know, good of their old games, a lot of the old band are gone. Like,
yeah, that's the question. The question that needs to be answered is: are Blizzard making shit games like Warcraft 3 Remastered and Diablo Immortal and Shadowlands? Are they making shit games because of pressure from Activision? Or are they making shit games because they're not talented enough anymore to make good games because all the talented people have left because of Activision? That's the question that needs to be answered.
hmm. I'm if you were to put a gun to my head, I'd say it's a little bit of column A, column B type of thing. But a lot of the good people that we would have recognized anyway, they've all fucked off and fucking. I don't want to say Mongos have taken over, but people that just don't listen. Are kind
Yeah,
of
I think
like,
what will happen is when Microsoft take over Activision next year, is it this year? Some point this year, maybe. Um, when that happens, all of Blizzard's IPs and products will go on to Game Pass, including World of Warcraft and the subscription.
hmm,
That will release a lot of pressure on Blizzard or the Blizzard employees because the Microsoft won't be looking at them on the numbers and the player retention and stuff like that to the scrutiny that Activision does because they'll all just fall under Game Pass. And it'll be a much easier time for them to take risks again, do braver things, experiment stuff that they haven't been doing. They've just been sticking to the stuff that gets them their new expansion boost and then their committed subscribers for the remainder of the 2 years or whatever. So that will be that'll be what happens with the Blizzard IPs. And then we can go forward from there and see what happens.
hmm. It's. I want to say it's sad, but it's kind of like inevitable.
Yeah.
You know.
Anyway, speaking of positive things, what was the game? Did you see anything in E3 you were excited about?
I'm not gonna lie. I saw two things, and I got to play one of them already, and I already gave it back.
What was that?
That was Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles:
You
Shredder's
you
Revenge.
refunded it?
Yeah. So
Why did you
look,
refund it?
so the game itself, it's up to 6 players, side-scrolling beat 'em up. It's really good. It's really fun with friends. The connectivity issues are a fucking nightmare, right?
Really?
A fucking nightmare. And the other thing is, it's just me. I think it's just me. So every time you play a round, so you go through your rounds or whatever it is, and I think there's like 16 rounds. Me and Irish played it for about under 2 hours, and we already got halfway through the game. Like
All
just
right.
regular mode, we just already got
Yeah.
halfway through the game. So me and him were just like, we need to refund this now before we go over the 2 hour mark, because it's a great game. We kept disconnecting from each other. We couldn't join each other's parties. We kept getting invites, all this type of shit. And then we were like,
Even with all that, you still got halfway through the game.
even with all that, yeah, we got to like, I think we got to stage 10, 9, 9, 10 or something like that. But it's kind of like, I wouldn't think it was worth the money at that current state. You need to play it with
Mm-hmm.
friends, but for me, the thing that annoys me about certain side-scrolling beat 'em ups, this is me just going into a bit of a rant. When you're playing like games like Streets of Rage, or you're playing like Double Dragon, or any of those type of games, they do this thing which really annoys me. That, do you know the way when you play a game, you just always click normal, you go on.
Yeah.
Yeah, only if you're like, you want to play hard, or if the game gets easy, game gets hard, you put it to easy. But normally you just jump into the game, you play it. For these type of games, they always give you 3 lives, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then you restart the level. Now for me, I would rather just get 3 lives to play the game. Does that make sense?
So you want 3 lives for the whole duration of the game, then you need to
Because
start from like
during
it's a Sega Master System game.
so like a Sega Master System game. Because back in the day, if you got like they would curtail like critique your score to if you get 5,000 points, you get an extra life. So
Mm-hmm.
you're always progressing, trying to get that extra life, not getting killed to get that extra life. Whereas all these new games, they dumb down the whole experience. Like Streets of Rage, the newest one was it 4?
Yeah.
I was like, people, we just banged through it. Like we honestly just banged through it, bit the shit out
Mm.
of the game. But when we got to the end stage is when we struggled and we died, and then we just restart that stage again. I kind of would like them to do a kind of hard thing from the start, like focus on making it hard. Like I would love to have something like this is me going back now. Does anyone remember Die Hard trilogy? The Die Hard trilogy on
Yeah.
PlayStation 1, where the first game you're in the Nakatomi Plaza and it's a third person. The second one, it's a fucking gun game, and then the
Light game, light
third
gun
game is
game,
a
yeah.
fucking driving game. That was fucking amazing. And my favorite one out of the three was the first one, where
Mm-hmm.
you work your way up through the levels, and when you die, you die. Well, you die, you die. You know.
Yeah.
I like to give it a bit of hardcore gameplay to it instead of fucking. Oh, it's okay. Here you go. Start again. Start the level again. There. Start at the checkpoint there again. No, I'd rather just like you died, you lost. Because when you sit down to play a game, right? You play a session for about what, 2 hours, maybe three if you're lucky. Yeah. We could have cleared that entire game in three hours. So we're probably gonna finish it with in our very first session of the game. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So our
So this is a maybe more of a personality question in it than anything,
yeah.
but say you opened up that game and there was an option to tick and say play Mega Drive mode, and that was the mechanic, would you tick that, or would you by default go with this is the default experience that they want you to play the game with? I'm going
I
to
would
play
I would
that
go
way.
default. See, I would
Yeah,
always
me
go
too.
default. But I would want the game to tailor it to the way the game is designed.
You'd want default to be the Master System
Arcade,
mode. Yeah,
kind of like the arcade mode where you chuck a quarter in, you get your 3 lives. You try and get as far as you can on those 3 lives. You know, just
yeah,
chuck in a life every now and every couple of stages or something like that. Or even if you survive the stage, you get a free life.
yeah.
You know,
Cool.
it's
I
that
mean,
type of stuff.
it's a personality trait that I have as well, where like I will complain about a game's default mode having something that you
Mm.
can turn off or not use. Like Elden Ring, for example,
Yeah.
having the summons that you could use, the dogs and the skeletons and all that you could summon. I was like, I hate that this is in the game because I can just use them to for the boss to tank them and then I'll just kill the boss. But I still used them
Mm.
because they were in the game. Um, and
Never played Elden Ring.
I would just much rather they not be in the game at all. But like that's just my own personality trait. I will play with the tools that the game gives me, even if I don't like those tools,
Yeah.
because the game gave me them. Um,
But
yeah,
just to jump back to it, yeah, I got it and I gave it back because I love the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I love side-scrolling beat 'em ups, but I there was no challenge in it. And I know you
yeah,
can make it challenging by putting hard mode on, but I don't. I like to play the game the way they intend you to play it. It's weird. I don't know how to fucking describe it. That's the fucking quote of the day, isn't it? I don't know how to describe it. That's just fucking
yeah.
me. And then the second game that tickled my fancy is a game called Redfall. So it think of
Redfall.
now this isn't a joke. Just think of Left 4 Dead with vampires. Okay.
Okay.
So you play as one of 4 characters, and you kind of have like you kind of have abilities, but it's just a survival four player co-op survival.
Who
Oh,
makes it?
I think it just said there because I had a video playing in the background.
Hello. Oh, Bethesda.
Bethesda.
Right. Okay.
So
Redfall is an open world co-op FPS. The
so
team behind Prey and Dishonored. I do like both those games.
so to me, I got I instantly got kind of like Vermintide slash Left 4 Dead vibes off it. Do you know what Vermintide is?
Yeah, it's a Warhammery one, isn't it?
Yeah, a four-player co-op game where basically like you replay the levels and you gear up, you level up, and all that type of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And which is the third game I actually forgot about, but the game that I'm really looking forward to this year is Darktide, Warhammer 40,000 Darktide. But we'll talk about that in a second. But Redfall is a four-player zombie vampire shooting co-op survival game. It's kind of, I think they're trying to do something that Bad Back for Blood did, where they have like a main hub. You go back and you critique
Please,
your gear.
please, no game ever copy Back for Blood.
It's
Ever.
very bad, isn't it?
It is very bad.
It was
Yeah.
very bad. To
What a
point that we
shame.
actually made a show about it.
What a disappointment. One actual disappointment.
Yeah.
Biggest letdown of the last 5 years, that game.
Well, Battlefield was.
Well, yeah, man, actually, yeah, Battlefield was fucking hovercrafts. Fuck off.
I don't even think we talked about Battlefield. Because didn't that
Yeah, we
drop in?
did. I'm
Did
sure.
we?
Yeah, we did. We talked about Battlefield. That
Oh, we
dropped
did. We
November
did.
last year.
Yeah. Jesus, that game was so fucking bad.
Yeah. Did you see it had like something like 27 concurrent players or something like that? No ago.
It's
Right.
so bad, so bad. But I'll jump back to the final game, and it's the game I'm really, really looking forward to. Is Warhammer 40,000 Darktide, and that is it's Vermintide, just in the future setting. Four-player
Yeah.
co-op. You go and do missions on different levels. You gear up your character. You can actually create your own character. There's a story to follow. It's it's my proper game. I love the Warhammer universe. I like co-op games, survival games, shooting games, blah 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 blah. So this is right up my alley, and I think we're gonna really like it. BF is dead to me. So
Yeah. So BF's concurrent players in December was 3,100,224. That's right after release though.
mm,
Um, concurrent players right now is 1,945.
I
Peaked
feel
at
bad. Go on.
peaked at 3,528.
Fucking hell. I feel bad
So
for Nimrod because I remember just going back 20, 18 years or something like that. It's been like when I first got into online gaming and I joined Clanstar like a week after. I remember
Battlefield
Nimrod,
2.
Ole, Yosef, Donkey. Fucking hell, we all used to play Battlefield 2 and it was the bee's knees.
What a game Battlefield 2 was.
Remember that? Remember Striker Kirkan and I think it was Road to
Hmm.
Jalalabad and Mustafar
Yeah,
City. I remember not everything, but I remember lots about that game. Us playing.
yeah.
It's
I
so
just
fucking
remember
good.
what was the map where you took off from the two ships and then you
Wake Island.
took Wake Island, or the Wake Island.
Yeah. Like Nimrod's having a conniption probably right now at home. Going, oh remember fucking Battlefield. It was so good. It was just so
Popping a
good.
couple member berries.
Maybe. But that was such a great game. And Battlefield 3, what was it? What was it called? What was the one we used to play? The Battlefield Bad
So
Company?
nine,
Bad
but
Company 2.
maybe. I remember playing Battlefield 1942 as well. Um, that was one that was off of the Battlefield 2 engine, but set in World War Two.
Mm.
I remember playing a fair bit of that as well. Um,
So
but yeah,
we talked about a couple of games that I'm interested in for the future. Darktide, Redfall, Turtles obviously didn't work out.
yeah,
And you?
it's going to be pretty boring, but
Hmm.
um, games that interested me: Final Fantasy VII Rebirth.
Oh yeah.
Um, winter next year, sooner than I thought it was going to be, which is good. Um, so you're probably looking about what, a year and a half probably until that comes out,
Mm.
um, which isn't as long a wait as I expected. And Final Fantasy 16 as well looks pretty good. It was very Yoshi P summon heavy. So like looking forward to that. It should be a good time, but mainly Final Fantasy 7 Part 2, which is called Rebirth. They confirmed it was a 3-part trilogy now as well, which is good. So we know that it's going to have its final part probably around what, 2026, something like that, by the time that last one comes out. So at least we have an end date in mind. Um, Looking forward to those two games. A lot of stuff didn't tickle my fancy. Like, why are we doing a Last of Us 1 remake already? Like, the game's been out for like
A
20
remake of
minutes.
the remakes remake.
Yeah, like, just completely unnecessary. Completely, what is the point,
Money
man?
hungry bastards.
Yeah, we can't be bothered making Last of Us 3 or making fucking a new Uncharted game. Like, we're just going to remaster a game or remake a game we've already
Mm.
remastered that only came out like 7 years ago or something like that. Like, it's just a joke. Um,
Nimrod was
so
saying, why does all new shooters have to have parkour, glider suits, building, and in-game shops?
but
PTW.
yeah, I agree. I think the problem we have is that the developers that are coming in now are the generation that were raised on games like that, so they just think that's the way to do games. It's the same with like microtransactions and DLCs and stuff like that. Like, these developers grew up in a world where the internet existed. They didn't grow up in the 90s where a game that came out, that was the game. There was no day one patch, there was no updates and stuff like that. So I think we're old men now. It's as simple as that. That's what's happened. We're not in touch with the youthful generation who want all their games to be gliders and shops and parkour and, oh, don't throw in a roguelite there as well. It has to be procedurally generated and be different every time and all that sort of shit. Like, um, yeah, so that annoyed me, and Sonic annoyed me as well. Sonic looks awful.
Oh yeah,
Um, that Sonic game. So
the memes
yeah.
that are coming out of that game.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, all Final Fantasy shit.
Yeah, Fantasy Ship was the only stuff that I seen that was like, that looks interesting to me. Nothing else jumped out at all as interesting.
It's been a proper fucking snooze fest. And I know I keep
Yeah.
using that word for shits and giggles,
The
but
last
it's
the
right.
last two
Like
years have been in gaming in general. They've just been a bit of a snooze fest. I can't think of the last, other than Elden Ring. I can't think of a game that came out that was like, that was a absolute belter of a game. Like,
Valheim. For me, Valheim.
nah, nah.
Yeah, for me,
Another
Valheim. Love Valheim.
another early access punch tree game. No, thank you.
Amazing. But yeah, it's been like it's just been a fucking shit show. Like
Yeah.
there's nothing really I enjoy jumping in and playing. Like I
No.
play Guild Wars every now and again. Like I overdosed on Guild Wars. Like I ran through the base game and the two expansions straight, and then and just as I finished the second expansion, the new one came out in February, and I was just basically overdosed on too much of it, and I couldn't even get into the new expansion, so it's still sitting there for me.
Fair
But
enough.
I needed to just like jump in and kill something and jump out like type of shit, and that's why I jumped
Mm-hmm.
into like some battle royale games and so on and so forth.
Yeah, that's
Nimrod
fair.
says Call of Duty Warfare is coming this fall. This is a game to get. Is he smoking something?
He's smoking something because, yay, time to kill 3 seconds, yay, respawned, yay, we died, yay, loadouts and gulags, yay.
What was it? What was it? What was the G one?
Gulag.
Gulag. Sorry. Had to. So I think that covers a
What
little
is it
bit
I
of the
hate
catch.
about Call of Duty? Bunny hopping. That's what I hate about Call of Duty. Is take bunny hopping out of Call of Duty and I'll play it. Until then, bunny hopping into
And
pro and into bunny
sliding,
hopping into pro. And
sliding. Nobody shoots guns while they're sliding in real life.
nobody shoots
Is that
guns when they're jumping. Like, you jump. How are you shooting and jump? Stop it. Bunny hopping all over the place. So annoying.
I
Hate
like
it.
that's what they did with PUBG, didn't they? You couldn't do that.
Yeah.
You could jump, but you just
Yeah.
look like a fucking idiot when you did it.
Yeah, and if you tried to shoot, your gun would shoot you in your own face because that's what would actually happen if you tried to jump and shoot at the same time like a
Mm.
moron.
But we don't we don't really have much to look forward to. Well, you
Nah,
do because you love your Final Fantasy stuff. I'm
yeah,
fucking
but
pissing into the wind right now. Like there's fucking nothing on my happy fucking go lucky.
yeah, there's some things I'm looking forward to. I'm looking forward to Path of Exile 2.
Act
I'll play that. Um, what else am I looking forward to? The Batman Arkham games, they look good. I'll give them a go. I've got faith in Rocksteady as a developer. Um, yeah, that's about it though.
like
A Rockstar working on anything. They've not announced anything. So, um, don't know what they're up to right now. Witcher
um
4 was announced, but we've not seen anything from it yet.
Nimrod's here, so one thing that we could look forward to that might be decent is a game called BattleBit. If
Battle Bit.
so, BattleBit, it's still in the middle of beta, but it's kind of like the graphics of like Minecraft, but it's Battlefield 2. Like it's that game. Like it's just like 60 characters. Do you guys post playthroughs of games? We we kind of do when we play a game. Like when we're playing the what is it called? We Were Here games.
We Were Here
We
games, yeah.
have that planned. Like at the moment, I'm looking through my wish list. We have the We Were Here games on it. You have well,
Prawn,
Silk Song.
Prawn needs to start streaming when they're playing games and then just uploading the VOD onto YouTube because I would watch that to fall asleep. But he doesn't do that.
Because it's boring. That's what he just said.
No, because you like to have something on in the background, and right now I'll just stick on some random streamer on Twitch to fall asleep when I could be sticking on you guys. So,
Oh, that's what actually Nami said. That he likes to watch us before bed,
yeah.
before he touches himself. But
No, whilst he touches
no.
himself.
But the only thing, another thing.
Touch
Sorry,
yourself, Nami.
he's probably watching that right now in his sitting room with his daughter beside him. Hello. But we all have the Steam Summer Sale to look forward to.
When's that start?
I think it starts. Is it the end of this week? It's great. It's like 7 days away or something like that. I think it's. I think it could be Friday. I know it's really, really close, really, really close. But I am probably gonna buy a couple of games that like are on my wish list that are going like really cheap. You know,
Yeah, I'll do the same.
Batman Telltale series is €15 right now. It'll probably go for about 7 or something. We Were Here. It's the one that we're gonna play next. That's only like €12. That'll
Looking,
probably go
I'm
cheap.
looking through my wish list to see if there's anything there. So, Silk Song, All Night, of course.
Have
That's
that one.
been coming soon for like 20 years though.
Hmm.
Um, also been coming soon for like 20 years. Vampire Bloodlines 2,
Okay.
Masquerade. Um, Hogwarts Legacy, that looked quite fun. So I added that to my wish list. So that's the kind of like single player Harry Potter school game. Looks quite fun. Do I have anything else here?
Replaced. Add replaced to your wish list.
Replaced. I'll have a look.
It'll be released
Um,
sometimes this year, but it's kind of like cyberpunk, side-scrolling cyberpunk. Looks
a
interesting.
game we should play together when it comes out. Stalker 2, Part of Chernobyl.
I never played the
Um,
first one. Don't know what it is.
yeah.
I think it's a shooting
Second,
game though. Yeah.
yeah, it's kind of like a survival horror online like shooter game. Think of like Fallout, but really dark and online.
I never
With
played a Fallout game.
mm, don't look at me like that. Um,
Never.
I I would say there's like 10 Fallout games and two of them are good. Fallout 3 and Fallout New Vegas. That's about it. The rest of them are completely missable.
Mm.
So I wouldn't hold that against anyone for not playing a Fallout game.
But
But yeah,
yeah, this no Steam Summer Sale will make me pick up a couple of games that are out, but I want to get them cheap. You know, like I'm a fan of the Jurassic World games, Park Builders, and all that. I still haven't played Resident Evil Village yet. That might
then
go
you
on the
will
cheap.
stream them all, won't you? Then you'll stream them all on Twitch. So everyone
When
can
I
watch you and judge
when
you.
I move from this in the coming months, I'll have a stream set up definitely, and we'll be streaming and playing. It'd be really good fun
Cool.
as well.
Yeah. Anyway, that's time for me. I'm going to go walk my dog. Um,
Sign off with a song, or how do we sign off again? I can't even remember. It's been so long since we did this. First of all,
uh,
thank you all for coming, all three
yeah.
of yous,
All three of you and Nami for watching the VOD in his underwear.
and we'll put it up on YouTube. So don't worry.
So Nami can watch it on repeat forever. And just
Backwards Poe.
remember.
We had a couple of sly creepers in the background. All right, backwards Poe. These are my TF2 buddies from back in the day. I missed that game so much. Jesus Christ.
Well, install it and play it. It didn't go anywhere.
It's can't. If I install it, it makes me cry because the game used to be so fucking good. That's a different story. We can't talk about that right now because
Yeah.
I'll be
Okay.
here for another 6 hours. Anyway, love yous all.
Yeah.
Even you,
Well,
Irish, who's watching in
even
the
you,
background.
Irish crew, touching Nami. Why is everyone touch Nami? Nami, stop getting touched.
Stop being touched. So sing us out.
Sing you out. What song?
Someone on the chat give us a song and Coley will sing it.
If I don't know it, I'll try and sing it
I
anyway.
don't even know what country most of the people from. I don't know where. I think backwards is
Someone,
somewhere
yes,
in Europe.
if someone picks like a Russian war song, then I'm not going to sing that. Free Ukraine.
The funny thing is, they probably all just went off, all three of them. So we don't have a
Yeah.
song to sing.
Right, I'll just pick one from my phone then.
Okay, he's gonna pick one for his phone. Oh, here we
We'll...
go. Girls just want to have fun. Nimrod's on the ball today, I tell you.
When the phone rings in the
Here we go.
middle of the night, my mother said, when you gonna live your life right? Oh, daddy, please, you know you're still number one. But girls, they wanna have fun. Oh, girls just wanna have. That's all they
They
really
really
want.
want.
So fun.
Peace.